Today, we are going to tell you a story with a moral. Sometimes of the bad decisions also is learned. Genaro Garcia, born on February 9, 1968 in the bosom of a working family, was an intelligent boy from a very young age. With an entrepreneurial spirit, at only 19 years old, he started in the business world. Worked hard in different sectors until in 1999 created the Spanish company GOWEX, dedicated to the sale of telecommunications. Its business vision meant that in 2004 the company specialized in the internet service by Wi-Fi. 5 years later, to direct of business towards the installations of free Wi-Fi connection areas in public spaces of was defined as follows.
I am like as Rocky who want to be a big company.
In 2010, GOWEX went public with a capitalization of 36 million euros. It was getting it. It was achieving a purpose to create a great company. Besides, the most satisfactory was the way in which
I have never had sponsored, but I have had many people who have helped me because they saw the illusion, the effort, the commitment, and my work. You fight and you take it out.
In 2014, the capitalization of the company was revalued by 2,700%. It had about it. He had managed to form a great company, but at what price? Gotham City, an economic and investments analysis firm, issues a report stating the deficit condition of the company's coffers, calling it fraud.
Como hemos dicho, hemos conseguido las facturaciones que hemos conseguido. Y ahora lo que estamos es luchando para aclarar todo eso, para poderlo poner en todos los medios y que, por supuesto, eso lo conozca todo.
Because the stock price on July 1st, they fall 14.6% and 26% in two consecutive sessions. An investigation was then initiated by the National Securities Market Commission. The 3rd of July 2014, GOWEX was suspended in the stock market. On 7th of May 2014, Genaro Garcia acknowledged before the National Court that he had falsified the account, repented and apologized for the social networks. Why Genaro acted imprudently? To analyze Genaro's decision, we will use the matrix of motivations. This matrix is a tool where different theories of four philosophers of different epochs interact: Aristotle, Maslow, Herzberg, and Juan Antonio Pérez López. The goal is to study the motivation that lead people to act, why they act as they do, where reason leads them to do what they do. In the first row, we have the motivation that may be intrinsic. I want to receive something from outside that it's not on me. Intrinsic, desire to acquire a good. Transitive, that is to say, gives to me the needs of others. The religious. In the first column, we have the goods that can be useful. A practical good, as money is. Pleasant, we seek for the pleasure that will produce us. Moral, that moves us by itself and makes it a better person. Or spiritual. Starting from the bottom up and from left to right, we have the useful extrinsic motivation that we call reward, and it consists of receiving a practical asset such as money. Above, we have the recognition that is what moves to receive a nice good. And the last of the extrinsic motivation is respect, the moral good. If we move to the next column, we have the intrinsic motivation that consists of acquiring goods. The useful asset in the case is learning, which can be obtained through hours of dedication. The pleasant good is in the satisfaction of doing what one wants. And finally, the moral good is the virtue that is acquired through learning and contributes to human perfection. In the next column are the transcripts that try to give to meet the needs of the third parties. The useful good is in the service making itself available to the others. The nice good is the affection as it can be to have a details with the third. And to the finish, this is the moral good, the benevolence that consists in seeking the good of the others. The areas shaded in blue that correspond to the religion and spiritual motivation and that we have not detailed are the meta-motivations. These are supernatural goods, are above the natural and does not concern the action that we are dealing with. To reach the highest level that, following the arrow, will be benevolence, you must previously go through the other motivations. However, in the case of Gennaro, it's evident that his motivations were not transitive since he did not take into account the other people who had relations with the company. Intrinsic motivations fall from them in part that the action lacks virtue. However, Gennaro learns and feels satisfied with what he does. From the extrinsic motivation, Gennaro obtains both the good and the good, since it obtains more benefits for the company, like reward, and its work and the third parties external to the company recognize it work to him. But are you thinking about what can happen to the people who are in church and trust him responsibly for entity? This could be considered a lack of respect, since he does not seek to good for all, but thinks of him as the only individual.
How should have been actuated?
As we have mentioned, he should have thought of others and not focus only on him. This is due to the lack of ethic in his action that leads him to lose respect for others and lose his virtue. He didn't take into account the rest of people who had a relationship with the company, and he didn't intend to give them anything. This led him to not be fair in his decision making and committing reckless acts. Gennaro learns that we have to think not only of ourselves, but also of others, and that it's necessary to keep in mind an ethic for making decisions, so that it ends up acting correctly and begins by re-earning everyone's trust again. For this, he first acknowledges that he was wrong and is sorry, rectify confessing that he will not do it again, and ends up repairing his action, announcing that we compensate all others affected by giving them part of their shares of the companies compensate to the pay with jail.